Hi, I'm Gareth Tooley, the CEO of 22nd Century New Technology Company. And you're seeing me here on Century New Technologies Company. So you have to subscribe to both of them if you want to see all our movies. Because I'll be putting some up here and somebody over where I was, other one. So you have to get them all, you have to get them both to see everything. Century New Technologies is going to be mostly about volcanoes, rhyolite volcanoes, and Adirondack Mountains, and how I metal detect, and showing you the next movie is how quick machines you have to use, how I do it. The other part of Fisher Castle movie is on 22nd Century New Technologies. On there I should Fisher Castle was something new that nobody knew since the beginning of time, and something new that nothing's been new since the fur farmers found out that the Fishers had babies later, and they was carrying them, and they found out that way that the Fishers can have their babies a year later. And the Fisher's life history and ecology and all that stuff by Roger Paul. That's where I found out that Fishers, after they killed their prey, they licked their eyeballs. So in other words, the prey died of stroke. There was so much pain and everything like that, the stroke. So all their prey died. They would, if they could talk, they'd say trappers are their best friends. Did you take notice looking at Fisher Castle? How long their legs were? Their legs, the snow comes in the wintertime a lot more than how long their legs are. So everybody knew that Fishers like to stay in certain tree dens. So the tree dens, my opinion only, the tree dens, when it snows deep like that, their tree dens, they can get in there and scrape out the rotten wood, and all the tree saps is in that wood, and they can eat it like that and enjoy their food. I found that out by thinking about porcupines. They do the same thing, eating the tree dens with rotten wood. So when the Fishers have their babies, they just have to worry about getting the food from the tree den instead of feeding them. They don't have to, they can keep them warm and everything like that. And when I was trapping, I used their method of how the fishers like blood. So I use, when I trap, I use liver all chopped up. Oh, about this much here. Pour it in. Okay. That's what I use for bait. What I do is dig a hole about this deep in the ground, about that kind of angle. And when I wasn't trapping, like sometimes in the winter time, I heard the cold air popping in my bottles, so I know it's awful heavy. So when you dig it like this, from here to here in the ground, the heat that's down here never get cold. It rises. It rises up. Then the cold air pushes it down the hill where you want to go. So you can catch more fishers than raccoons. The raccoons need a lot of help. Well, you can catch 10 raccoons, one raccoon and 10 fisher in the Adirondack Mountains. So when I dig that angle, I dig it out and put the dirt on this side of the hole. This side hole, kind of make it good. And what I do is hammer this and hammer this side, and that's where you put the trap, and on the top of the hole and on the bottom of the hole. Where you have to have the pan facing this way. And the thing where it locks the pan down, right here. Here's the hole. Put it far as you can get to the hole like this, so the pans just go like this. Then in New York State, you have to cover it. So you cover it with leaves. You can chop up the leaves and stuff like that. So you can't see it. Okay. Then over the pan, you put dirt. Covered it with dirt, because fishers got awful sensitive ears. They don't like leaf noise when they're walking. I've seen a lot of fishers and raccoons, mostly raccoons, when they're walking in the brush woods, they'll walk on top of a log. So that tells you that they don't like the leaf noise. So the next move is, when you're over here, one side, and you gotta have 18 inches of moving around. They can move around with before. You can't have any longer than that. Then you drive that from where you drive your things in the ground to hold them still. You have 18 inches. My father told me when I was a little kid, you gotta have enough movement for when the trap snaps, that had time to settle and grab a hold of it. If it's that way, this kind of trap, you won't lose your animals. They won't pull out. They'll stay there all the time. I'm not going to say what your other traps does. They won't hold too good. Have to make it stronger and stronger and stronger. So now where do you think you're going to set it? Well, let's see. That's kind of hard to explain. Let's pretend the fisher's mother just died and it's laying up on a tree and hungry. And all of a sudden it sees a chipmunk. And he did what his mother did. And when the chipmunk got close, he just ran after it and got it. But he's still a little hungry. So all of a sudden you hear a ping, 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 ping. A red squirrel just went after, got some pine cone for the winter. So now you know where to set the traps. On the side hill. From side hill, where the side hill goes, don't cross any roads or anything like that. So in the wintertime, in the daytime, that's where the scent is going to go, down that way. And in the daytime, it's going to go up in the air, so you won't catch any stray animals. I'll say I had luck with meat with that too. You can don't have to have plain liver, but you have to have that much. So you put it in one time, and you don't forget. You can forget about it unless you catch something, the whole time during fisher season. It's about a month long. So I guess that's about it. So make sure you subscribe to 22nd Century New Technologies Company and Century New Technologies Company. The movies will be on both of them. Okay. Because of the raccoons, I'm changing my mind what movie is next after this, after the volcanoes that I found in the Adirondack Mountains, and what to use in the Adirondack Mountains to find gold. You just can't go out and find gold like they do out west, where they found gold somewhere else. I'm going to call it Teaching Your Babies the First Time Out. You have to remember the babies were their mother raccoon for at least a month. You have to decide if the raccoons are giving off different orders after watching Fisher Castle, Fisher sent communication stations that no one knew before, no one saw or knew before since the beginning of time. You will see at least 2 different times But if raccoons could talk, they would say trappers are their best friends.